All right, we're now going to talk about working through the guidebook potentially in a group setting. That's great. After all, working with a team can help develop some common language, some common understandings, and as they say, teamwork makes the dream work. With all that being said, equity can be a very difficult topic for different people in different ways. And so I want to help set you up for success, and we're going to cover 4 key elements to make sure that you cover if you're going to do this as a group. All right, let's start digging into our group considerations. The first consideration is a reminder that the guidebook is designed for people already interested in equity work, who already accept that inequities exist in our societies and we should do something about it, and who are looking to build a foundation of knowledge to get started. If you find that your group covers a wide spectrum of interested members, those already taking action, and those who disagree with equity in principle, I'd strongly recommend looking into getting a facilitator. Having an experienced professional in the room can help work through disagreements, misunderstandings, and different perspectives in a way that we can't through this pre-recorded video. The second consideration is being ready to support your group. After all, matters of equity, diversity, belonging and inclusion, social justice, and more can hit on some pain points for us in different ways. It is important work and we all come into it from different places. As an example, one of the themes we'll be covering is objectiveness. We'll talk about ways that objectivity in our different professions are usually characterized, and ways we can pivot to have both objectivity and equity. For some, this can bring out feelings of defensiveness if they perceive a challenge to their current definition of objectiveness. On the other hand, some may have a cathartic moment, realizing that certain views of objectiveness is at the root of some of their frustrations and obstacles at work. In any case, be prepared to pause. Be ready to meet people where they're at and validate what resonates, what doesn't, what inspires, and what hurts. Our third consideration is the establishment of ground rules. Ground rules are ways that we can be proactive to have effective, respectful, and accountable conversations. It's ways that we can deal with some hiccups early on and to have a plan for any obstacles moving forward. A few sample ground rules include, but certainly aren't limited to, establishing a safe space or brave space. I've even heard the term accountable space before, depending on the emphasis you want to have for your particular group. There are also rules talking about having more yes and statements instead of no but. Because we come at this from different perspectives, it's very easy to start disagreeing and to undercut each other's arguments, but as much as we can say yes and accept the other person's truth, and then say and discuss our own, the more we'll be able to be collaborative. There are rules about giving ourselves and each other grace, because this is hard. Because we're coming from different places, we all have our biases, our hang-ups, our baggage, and that's okay. And finally, there are many rules about respect for ourselves and for others as well, such as no interruptions, no getting overwrought with guilt, and no personal attacks. What I do want to emphasize, though, is to be critical. Be critical. Each group is different, and the rules that might work well for one group might not be the most appropriate or relevant to another. So think through it. Talk to the people who you want to engage with this with, get their approval, get their consensus before moving forward. Our fourth and final consideration, if you'd like to tackle either the guidebook or the series in a group setting, is to take action. Spoiler, the last lesson is titled Take Action. It is the very last thing we're going to cover. If we're going to spend time in a group setting, have people working through each page, the different exercises, and to discuss it as a group, it will be severely disappointing if at the very end nothing happens. Have in mind ways to apply the lessons at the end to ensure that the time you and your group spends is used well. Because remember, our target audience are those who are interested in learning more and doing the good work. And that's it. This covers the end of our introduction, expectation setting, and extra considerations for a group. See you for our first theme coming up on context.